Adam lay bounden in a bond. 4,000 winter thought he not too long, and all was for an apple that he took, as clerk is finden, written in their book. Well, I bet you weren't expecting this morning to start out like that, were you? Well, back in the day, would you believe it? Sadly, you probably would believe it. I was a choir boy for 7 years in my secondary school. We used to go to chapel each morning. We'd sing hymns, and every Christmas we'd sing Christmas carols as the choir. And that song that I just sang there was the first half of one of the songs that we sang. And I'm going to be honest with you, every Christmas we sang this song and I thought, what the heck is that all about? And why on earth are we singing about Adam eating an apple and Clark is finding things written in books? But actually, as I have got older and as I've reflected on it, I wouldn't really choose to sing that song. But what we see as we explore Advent is that Jesus came to redeem mankind from the fundamental problem that we found in Adam right at the very beginning of creation. So today's reading as we explore Advent is from Genesis chapter 3, and it's verse 8 to 15. Adam and Eve have been placed in this beautiful paradise garden that God has placed them in to enjoy all of creation. And they were given all things to eat, to enjoy, apart from the one thing, to eat the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil they weren't to do, or else they would die, God said. And they did eat of it. The serpent tempted them. And verse 8 of chapter 3, it says this: Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And they hid from the Lord among the trees of the garden. But the Lord called the man, Where are you? He answered, I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree from which I commanded you not to eat? The man said, The woman you put me here with, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it. Then the Lord God said to the woman, What is this you've done? The woman said, The snake deceived me, and I ate it. So the Lord God said to the snake, Because you've done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. Now, friends, there's so much that we could pick up on this, but the fundamental thing as we celebrate and we remember Advent, this sense of waiting and preparing for the coming of Jesus, I want us to see that God always had it in his heart right from the beginning of creation, from the moment that man was created. He knew that we would wander off from relationship with him. He knew that we would seek to rely upon ourselves, to want to discern good and evil for ourselves apart from relationship with him. And he always had it in his heart. It was not plan B, it was always plan A, that Jesus would come, that God would come in the flesh. When man and woman, when Adam and Eve, when you and I, because we are the same as Adam and Eve, choose our own ways rather than to walk in relationship with God, we see in that verse, don't we, in verse 8, God walked in the cool of the day in the garden. He wants to walk and talk with us. When he looked for them, they were distant, they tried to hide their shame. But God doesn't want us to be hidden away. He wants us to be with him. And he came in flesh. As it were, he came as the second Adam. Mankind was created as the pinnacle of all creation, unique in all of creation. We were created not just as earthly beings, we were taken from the earth, we were molded into mankind, and yet we had the breath of the heavenly God breathed into us. We are both of earth and of heaven. We are the only ones of all creation that bridges that divide, and yet we chose to deny our heavenliness and to cling to our earthliness. But God, in order to bring us back into relationship, came as the second Adam, the perfect one who was both God and man, both heaven and earth together in one body, that in him we might be restored and walk in the cool of the day in full relationship with him again. The coming of Jesus is such good news. The curse of our disobedience gets reversed in Jesus. What a thing to look forward to in the person of Jesus, bringing us into relationship.